It's a topic parents can't afford to ignore: the social pressure and dangers your kids might face. In 2019, nearly a quarter of 14 and 15-year-olds reported having at least one alcoholic drink. And data from the CDC suggests 1 in 12 high school students experiences physical dating violence. Joining us with important insight is Dr. Danielle Dooley, a general pediatrician and former Georgetown University Health Services worker. Dr. Dooley, thank you for joining Consumer Confidential. Those numbers we just talked about, specifically with the violence, the dating violence, really alarming. What should young people keep in mind when they're going out on a date?
So I think it's really important that we equip our teenagers and young adults with the facts and the knowledge. First of all, they should know that about 8 out of 10 instances of sexual assault occur between people who know each other. So I think that's really important for them to know. We also want them to know about the different types of violence. There's physical violence, emotional violence, and sexual violence. And then lastly, we really want to start talking with our teens and young adults about what are the components of a healthy relationship. Are these relationships based on trust and honesty and independence and anger control and respect, or are they relationships based on disrespect, dishonesty, a lack of anger control, and a lack of trust?
Dr. Dooley, how should parents navigate difficult conversations on these topics like substance abuse or consent?
So first of all, just like you might have a packing list for your child's dorm or what they're going to need for their academic course loads each year, also on your list should be having this conversation with your child. And I want parents to know that they're not alone. There are a number of resources out there to help guide parents. First and most importantly is committing to having the conversation. Secondly, finding a quiet space and time in which to do it so you can really have a conversation with your child. Third, you might want to use something that's been in social media or current events as a way to open up the discussion and find out what your teenager knows. Where are they in their thinking and their knowledge about these topics? What are they seeing amongst their friends? And then finally, commit to being non-judgmental and really hearing your teen and hearing what they've been seeing and experiencing are some great ways to open this conversation and navigate these difficult topics.
And these aren't just one and done conversations, right, Dr. Dooley? Should you revisit this over time?
Absolutely. It is so important that these conversations happen repeatedly, and that maybe when you have that first conversation, you really set the stage to, I hope this is the first of many conversations. You can always come and speak to me about things you may have questions about or are concerned about. And even if I don't know the answer, I will try to find the correct information or answer for you. So repeated check-ins and conversations are critical.
Thank you. I love that actual language that you're equipping parents with. What are some basic do's and don'ts when you are talking to your kids about these social dangers?
So I think some important do's are making sure you make the time and the space for the conversation, asking open-ended questions. So really trying to let your child or young adult tell you what they think or what they know or what they've seen, rather than asking questions that are just going to lead to yes or no answers. I also think that parents shouldn't be afraid to communicate their own values and expectations around substance abuse and sexual activity. And I think some don'ts are, don't skip the conversation. It's a really critical conversation to have. Children are seeing a lot about relationships through social media, and I think it's really important that they see and learn and hear about relationships from their own parents as well. So don't skip the conversation and try not to get emotional. You may hear things that are hard to hear, but you really want to create that open atmosphere for your teenager.
Hold the judgment, as you said earlier. Dr. Dooley, what about some red flags that your child might be in trouble?
So red flags that your child might be having issues would be if you noticed a sudden withdrawal from activities or sports or organizations or things that they used to enjoy doing. If you noticed a decline in their studies or academics, if you notice they're just not participating in things like they used to, they may have mood changes and seem angry, hostile, depressed, or anxious. So all of those would be red flags that it's important to check in with your child. And you could also offer them the option that if they don't feel comfortable or ready to talk to you, Is there someone at their school or their college that they would feel comfortable talking to at this point?
Dr. Danielle Dooley, thank you so much. We so appreciate your time.
Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Find your favorite recipes, celebrity interviews, uplifting stories, shop our favorite deals, and so much more with the Today app. Download it now.